Oh, is it back? The same fly. Are we gonna finally... Is he gonna finally get it? My man, this is a grudge. Oh, this is tense. Oh. Okay. This is gonna come back in. We'll see. Man, Return of the Fly. We all wanted to see it. Maybe not. Maybe just me. That's fair. Oh, he's getting a little taxi. Is it Jesse? Is it Jesse? Todd. No, of course it's Todd. Oh, of course it's Todd. He probably should not be getting a taxi to there. Just me. Just me. Oh, it's on. It's on. This is so tense. The rematch of the century. Todd, no.
Mr. White, the car has been done. It's pretty cool the way they do that. They turn a car to a cube.
That was where you should have stopped talking, Todd, I feel, actually. Oh, he is teeing up to kill this fly.
So should we deal with this other thing now?
This is the thing. But as if they brought the fly back.
Yeah.
For my headcanon, it's the same fly. We didn't get it, did we? We didn't get it. Did we get it? I can't remember. Did we get it? I don't think we did. We did! He did! A brother, then. A sister. A mother. A friend, maybe,
I don't want to talk
to be
about
fair.
this.
Okay.
It had to be done.
Okay.
Should be a little more worried, Walt, that he's taking this very well. You know? I get that it's on, he's aligned with Walt and everything, but, like, this guy has got no limits. Yeah, do you know what I've been thinking between today, watching this, and last week? Was Jesse. And if Jesse finds out what Walt did here, that's it. Break, mate. Break. Conflict. Or,
You get the mic?
Oh, he got to him.
So what do we do?
We? Who's we?
Oh, wow. Okay, fine. Well, give him his money then, yeah, mate? Yeah, fair play to you, mate. Walk away. Walt's acting like the big man and like this is like, oh yeah, strength. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, all you're doing is eliminating any kind of ally that you've ever had. For Todd, who, one, tarantulas, I'm not over it. And two, when Mike turns up in the trunk of a car, he's like, okay. Do you know, like, no questions asked at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's cold. That's cold. He also kills kids. That's a little bit of spice on there for you. Do you know what I mean? If it wasn't hot enough, man, honestly, all I see is Walt eliminating any barrier around him and those that are out to get Heisenberg. No companionship with Jesse, which is in the past has been proven to get you out of situations, right? Their bond. I feel like from a narrative point of view, from a thematic point of view, for the mere fact that together they seem to be unbeatable, the breaking up of them, at least even in this way, forgetting the Mike thing and what Jesse's going to do when he finds that out, seems like a narrative shift to, and it's season 5 as well, so maybe I'm kind of seeing it because of that as well, right? But a narrative shift in the sense that Walt is very unprotected, very vulnerable. Hello and welcome to this week's Breaking Bad Friday. Welcome one and all. It is a pleasure having you. This week we are on the finale of 5A season 5. Who knows where this is going to go? Honestly, I have no idea. I have been speculating that we are going to get Jesse finding out about Mike, and then that's going to, supply some conflict somewhere. I don't know. Maybe Hank comes into it as well. We shall see. So thank you all for being here. And hey man, let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into it. It's called Gliding Overall, episode 8. I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm just making sounds at this point. Let's go. Flamingo. Oh, hello. Get your out now. I swear, one sip. One sip. Walt Whitman. Hello.
Vital information relating to the organization.
Wow, he's cracking straight away. Of course he is. Okay.
And Dennis not only walks out of here.
Why wouldn't you? Money stopped, ain't it?
For what he's going to be furnishing, this deal is plenty fair.
I don't know, mate. You ain't Saul. That's all I'm saying.
Queen for a day and a 5K.
Oh, he's not joking when he said queen for a day. What's that mean?
I'm going shopping for someone who can tell me something.
There's 9 of them. That's smart.
This here's a buyer's market.
Yeah, he's going to play him. Is this Lydia? That's a good point. Yeah, we haven't seen her in a while. Oh, Mike. Sorry, I'm remembering when Mike had the conversation with her. It just reminded me of Mike, the setting, the coffee, the Heisenberg. Hello, sir. That hat is glorious, I will be honest. Was that necessary? Well, yes it was. Yes, of course it was. Always. Every time. Just swaps the glasses.
Maybe you should order something.
Bit dramatic.
So let's take a look at the list.
It's just not written down.
Oh, Lydia. This is the thing. She played Mike, right? And she's got out of Mike. She's got out of that situation alive and relatively well, I would say, you know, considering everything. But she is not sat across from Mike. You know, Walt and Mike are very much not the same person. She tries to mess him about or comes at him in any way. She's gone at this point. That's just that. Dude, he walked in, hat, sunglasses, full Heisenberg. There's no way this lady isn't giving him what he wants. And if she doesn't, oh, I would not want to be in her shoes, I'll be honest with you.
And I suggest you pick up a pen.
Not just yet.
I mean, good luck playing with him.
You're tying up loose ends, and I don't want to be one of them.
That is fair.
And in your mind, I immediately just murder you.
Well, no. Later, you get a 10-second head start.
Guaranteed your safety.
For Mike, you guaranteed I'd be safe. From Mike.
Oh, she's thinking. She's thinking.
There's no way.
The little swallow was that. I don't know if that was anything. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know if that was anything, but they're like Brian did like a really subtle little swallow. Do you know what I mean? Like a little tell. And I don't know if that means anything. He might have just put that in to kind of like throw the audience. Maybe he was directed to do something to throw the audience or make them like be like, not exactly what I just did, admittedly. But like, I'm going to play it again. So let's see. Just so you know what I'm talking about.
I'd be safe. From Mike.
Yeah, she makes the catch and then look at this.
There's no way he'd ever.
There's a little subtle thing. And you can tell he kind of swallows or does something there that it's like he wasn't expecting her to put that together. It was like a loophole he was looking to utilize. I don't know, it's just a little thing, little inclusion, and it might mean nothing, but I appreciate that Brian did something there. It's such a hallmark of this show that they put little things in there, and it's why you guess so much, and I think it's why you're kind of almost wrong so much, because that could have kind of meant anything. Such a small little thing, and it could mean nothing, and I should stop talking because it absolutely could be nothing, probably is nothing, and let's play. Okay.
You wouldn't be doing this if Mike were still a factor. That's what I thought.
She worked that out too. Hey, man. She's on it.
I can grow your business exponentially.
Okay, she wants to stay involved. Interesting. Okay, Lydia, mate.
The Czech Republic.
Did you know there's a higher demand for meth there than anywhere else in Europe?
Okay, now you're talking.
You could more than double your current profits.
Oh, he's going to be interested.
Shipping internationally seems like a courting disaster.
Not if you're magical.
We're going to come back to Madrigal and Gus. Right at the beginning of the season, and the guy in Madrigal and the guy going into the bathroom, and Gus is passed. We haven't actually gone back. Do you know what I mean? That whole thing, it didn't get unearthed. We didn't find out more.
Then why didn't you pitch it to Frank?
Good question.
I did. He said yes. We were in the final stages of working it out. And somebody killed him. You don't think Gus Fring built his distribution network all by himself?
Wow, okay.
Give me 10 pounds to start and we'll see how it goes.
He's tempted. Yeah, he is.
Trust me, if you do this...
Lydia.
She's a bit too
take yes
desperate
for an answer.
What are you thinking, mate? Is he going to take that and then get rid of her anyway? Because, do you know what I mean? She feels like a little bit of a loose cannon.
We're going to make a lot of money together.
Oh, is he feeling grey matter again? I do feel like grey matter's in the back of his mind at all times. We saw how big an influence that is on him, how big a motivator that is. This right here, this emotion on his face, and it just looks like he's going back and thinking about something. And that line that she said
We're
here,
going to make a lot of money together.
and the way that he pauses and goes so steady and then thinks back, it just seems to me like that's what the guys at Grey Matter did. That's what they said to him right at the beginning. And I think he's going back and remembering how that went and how, you know, those people involved were so ready to take it and stab him in the back, right? And I feel like maybe that the trauma of that is maybe hitting him there again. And I'm tempted to say it's going to make him mistrust her or do something to get rid of her despite what she's done, or let her set it up, get rid of her, and then maybe it goes wrong. I don't know. But I just think that's what that little moment is. That's my best guess so far. We'll see. Oh, he was ready to use. Wow, the whole spiel about not doing it right here, right now. And he would have. He absolutely would have. There are no limits now. And again, the callback to, was it the first episode of when he was doing that? And when he kept it and put it there. Yeah, we're getting a lot of like little callbacks coming back into it. Things that we saw right at the beginning, coming back into it.
You know, I gotta be straight with you, man. taking out all these guys is doable.
Oh, mate, this is teeing up, isn't it, to be such a an intense finale. So much could go wrong, but then if he does do it, Hank's gonna be like, "What the?"
I've seen this one before. I wonder.
I've seen that one before. Is that in his living room? No. That painting, somewhere. It's been in the show before.
Hey.
Ooh, the disrespect, the flick, hey, I'm the boss here. Come on, get on board. Yeah, that look, looking around. Now what? Now what, Walt?
It can be done exactly how I want it.
Takes back power. There we go.
Are you the man to do it?
And then power plays back like, are you the man? Yeah. Again, it's all about power. Being the big man. Manhandling
You for?
the situation. It's so interesting how this Walt that we have now, they have peppered him, Heisenberg, this version of him throughout the series. I mean, the earliest thing that we see, the earliest scene that we see of that overtly, and I don't know when it was, you'll have to let me know down in the comments, but when Walt goes up against Hank, there's the party, the swimming pool, Walt Jr.'s drinking, it's his birthday, and he's doing that power play with Hank, right? And maybe that's later on, and I think there's probably earlier examples of the ego coming into play and when he's actually, but I think that's one of the first times he actually kind of especially goes up against Hank, right? And I know this is a very obvious thing that I'm pointing out, but it is just, I'm taking a moment, I guess, to just admire that they have seeded this version of Walt and who he is now all the way back, and they've given, you know, such good reason for him to be that and to show that, and now he's just embraced it and the difference that it's made to his character. I'm getting into the territory of repeating myself, but I wanted to take a moment, and I see him in that room doing that kind of stuff, and it just feels so earned. You know, despite what I might think of Walt and his character, it feels so earned and so well done, and you get this little kind of, in the audience, as the audience, even if you don't like his character or the person that he is now, you do get a little jolt of like, damn, this is character progression. This is payoff. Because it absolutely is pure and simple. And I think it's little things like that that do just make this show so beloved in the way that it is in our culture, in pop culture, in, you know, in the spheres that talk about this show in glowing terms because of things like that. There we go. Here we go. To be fair, I do kind of want to see the lawyer die because he f***ed Mike. He did. It's his fault. Oh. I'll be honest with you, mate. No sympathy. Oh, brutal, mate. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, well, this is happening early in the episode too. Yeah, we got half an hour left. Yeah, we got half an hour left after this. I like that. They're getting it done nice and early. It's doing that thing again that I've admired so much again about the show. They do the thing early, and then there's loads more time to see the fallout, which is almost the interesting part, right? And it puts you in this place as the audience where you're like, what is gonna come? And I'm not being funny. Oh, mate, these are getting more brutal. Oh, Dennis the Menace. Oh, yikes. Oh, yikes. Oh. Well, I'll drink to. I was gonna say I'll drink to that. I won't drink to that, but I do need a drink. I'll be honest with you. Here it goes. Yeah. But it is interesting how Walt is suddenly this guy. I say suddenly, not suddenly, really, is it? This guy. He's got there. This kingpin. He's eliminated Mike now. Jesse's kind of out, and if anything, I mean, Walt can very much, especially because Mike's gone now, Walt can very much kind of flex himself over Jesse. I do wonder, and I do think we are going to get to a point where Jesse does rise up, because he can and he will, I think. But at this point, Walt is absolutely over it all, just this boss orchestrating it, and yeah. Because this is big. This is huge, man. This is a big power play. All right, now what?
I just pulled up and he's not in the best mood.
Oh, okay. Getting Walt in there directly. Yeah, let's get these guys talking. Let's see how this goes. This is so interesting. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Using this frame, getting Hank in shot as he's coming in. The two people in this little orchestra here, the two sides of this conflict, and they don't, well, Hank doesn't know it. Yeah, let's chat, boys. Sure. Let's chat. Sorry, the balls of this show to immediately after that scene and that set piece get these two in a scene like this. It's just funny. It's funny. It's like in the writer's room, they were like, what can we do after this to make that's just going to be meaty, full of character? Well, we could just get Walt and Hank in the room together. Let's just do it. Let's just see how that goes. Let's just play it out. And we got it. I'm going to shut up now and listen. Okay. Again, coming back to this thing of like they're giving what the audience wants every time.
There's an orange spray can.
Orange, you say?
First,
Very carefully watching him, being like, what do you know? What might you know? What are you going to say? Where are you going to go with this?
just wanted to make a few bucks. Buy beer.
That's the life.
Tagging trees is a lot better than chasing monsters.
Ooh, yeah. Let's get into that, shall we?
I used to love to go camping.
Just accepts it. Doesn't even question it anymore. The old Walt would be like, monsters, why? Are you sure? Maybe they have a reason. Oh, okay. Okay, maybe we were just meant to see how easily he brushed off the monster tag. How much he didn't care anymore. This is him, this is his life. And he's okay with it. And he is. He really is. And maybe that is kind of the little tell that we see as the audience, that he's irredeemable at this point. Because I do feel like he kind of is. You know, he's so deep in, he's so far in, he is that person, he's accepted it, he knows it. He's seen how far he gets, I guess. I think he thinks he's infallible. I know it's a show that ends in 5 seasons, you know what I mean? So I know it's not, but he's not. But I do feel like that little moment there was like a, yeah, he accepts it, he knows, he doesn't care. And he's irredeemable, I think. Do you disagree with me? Hey, let me know. That's kind of what I take from that, at least. Yeah, okay. It's all smooth and working as it should. You know, for season 1, for the sake of season 1 and season 2, season 3, Walt and Jesse, I'm glad he got a moment. You know, there's a part of me that's like, glad he got a moment to enjoy this power, to enjoy getting there, to actually have the operation for a little bit, be the big boss man, be peddling his meth and being this thing that I saw him becoming, you know, right from the onset of the show. There's a part of me that's like, good. As messed up as that is, you know, I'm glad I got this moment of it before I'm sure it all gets, maybe not straight away, but before it gets taken down. Tired, mate. Maybe he's going to want to replace himself. Do you know what I mean? Be the guy in the background, right? This is taking its toll on him. He doesn't want to be doing it. Maybe he's getting to a point where he wants to take it easy, let someone else do the work, and he can just collect that money. And then more and more tense. That might be a tell for Hank. Oh, I'm glad that she's got a little bit of happiness in this somewhere.
Maybe time to take the kids home. It's been almost 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. Just push him in. It's a little bit of fun, do you know what I mean? Get it off your chest.
Take a drive with me.
Yeah, push him out halfway, do you know what I mean? Okay, okay. What we see? What we're gonna see? The money. Yeah, okay.
This is it.
She gonna burn it?
This is what you've been working for.
She gonna burn it?
There is more money here than we could spend in 10 lifetimes.
Yeah.
You certainly can't launder it. Not with 100 car washes.
Fair enough. Get out. Yeah, I feel like that's maybe where she's going. She's like, come on, finish. We're done, right? What more do you want?
I want my kids back.
Okay, fair, yeah.
I want my life back.
Again, we come back to this thing. To some extent, he is kind of holding her hostage, right? She has no other choice.
How big does this pile have to be?
Yeah, we're seeing him pressed again for the answer to this. How far does he go? Has he got an endpoint? Hello? Is this our dear old friend? Let's see, eh? Yeah, and you look at it. You look at his motivations from the very first, right? Again, the reason he's on this path, the reason this show exists, the reason this all started to, you know, was to protect his family, to see them off after the cancer, to make sure they have money. He's done that. Tick, mate. Tick that off the list because you have finished it, mate. You've completed it 100 times over. He's aimless to a certain extent, or at least he's, you know, he's burning himself up. Right, and I think that's what we're seeing, and it's why, you know, I think as the audience you get this feeling of it's all going to come to a head and just explode, right? Him at the center, you know, he's going to get caught, he's going to get killed, something to that effect, and he's going to burn himself out because I think he's a man that is, while he's got this drive and this goal and this, I guess, direction, right, he is aimless at the same time, which I realise are two contrasting, two very different things, and they shouldn't work together, but I do feel like that's the sense I get from him. His original motivation has been done. And from there, because the capability to surpass grey matter arose, he took it. Which I get, and, you know, that's a motivation that I absolutely understand. And it's very, I think the show's presented it in a way that, like, it's like, oh, I get it. So understandable, right? But it's like, Where does he stop? Where can he? I just feel like that point is being pressed home in this episode, and I feel like it's very appropriate for a kind of, you know, the middle of the last season, for, I guess, you as the audience to be reminded of that, and for the show to push it at you really hard, to kind of be like, there's no way out for this man. I mean, maybe there's going to be a pulling out. Maybe they're going to do that in the second half of the season. That would be really interesting, I think. And maybe that's what they're going to do, because that'd be really interesting. And that's what they do, right? That's what they do with this show. Maybe that's what I'd like to see, honestly. Actually, at this point in this season, I'd like to see them do something unpredictable to me in this moment. Like, I see him aimless. There's no end to this. He's going to burn himself up. So I would maybe like him to. I would maybe like to see a little bit of humanity there, and for him to realize or try and break out or something. You know, and I feel like that would make it more painful, especially if we as the audience got like a little bit of a glimpse of Walt again, you know, like the Walt that we've seen, the Walt that we've lost. I think that would be interesting, I think. So yeah, I do wonder whether they're going to do that, and again, the middle of the season, structure wise, I think for season 5 that would work really well, and I think it would make sense that we're being pushed this thing of him burning on this path, and you know, you can't see any way out for him. Right, and maybe you know, in the second half of the season we see maybe a little bit of him come back and be like, and maybe start every single person is asking him this question: when does it end? Is this not enough? Jesse's coming at him, Scout is coming at him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's constantly getting this question, and I don't think it's by accident. I think it's very on purpose. And so the impression I'm getting, you know, people asking him this stuff, maybe he's actually going to ask himself. Do you know what I mean? Stop and be like, yeah, why? What will it take? Where am I going? Where's it going to end? And hey, I don't know. I really don't know. But it would be really interesting to see him perhaps come back a little bit. And I think it would be more painful. I think honestly, we are going to maybe at the end get a glimpse of Walt. You know, maybe there's going to be an element of that in there, because it would be more painful for that, right? Seeing the good guy in this monster that has been created. We'll see. That's my thoughts on this episode. And considering it's a mid-season thing, and you know, we keep getting this question asked to him, and I wonder about where that's going to take the show. And that's kind of where I want to see it go a little bit, you know, him pulling back maybe from Heisenberg now, or asking himself this question and maybe choosing a different path. We'll see. I don't know how viable that's going to be, but anyway. Oh, okay, he's lingering in this moment too. Maybe has he been told that it's coming back? Huh. Interesting. Let's not forget. I mean, we all know. I'm not going to explain that. Okay, for anyone wondering, I think it was in season 1 when he punched that, and the reason for that was because he was clean and healthy. And the cancer was gone, and maybe that's symbolic of it coming back. Maybe he was looking at that because it's poetic, in a certain way. I think. Yeah, we saw him going in for an MRI. Maybe the show's going to make very light of that and not mention it, and then he's going to be like, "Yeah, the cancer's back." We'll see. And him looking at that is like, well, it came back anyway, so chill out. Do you know what I mean? And maybe he was looking at it like that, like it was laughing at him almost. Do you know what I mean? It caused him all of this pain, all of this suffering, and it put him on this path. That little thing there of it, you know, him getting healthy, and that point in the series where he was so tumultuous and he didn't know quite what he wanted to do, and you know, he was already on this path, and then he couldn't get out of it, and now where he is, and it's back maybe. And maybe he's starting to question, was it all worth it? I don't know. Walt. Because the thing is, if Walt does come back to a certain extent morally, or tries to, I don't think he's going to be able to. He's done too much. And it would make sense if the cancer came back that he came to Jesse, because
It's disconnected.
I think that's comfort to him to a certain extent. Let's see.
What's up?
Sorry, by the way, I am talking a little bit more, just kind of airing my feelings and speculations as they come to me, because this is a finale. We're in season 5. You know, look, I'm only ever going to do this once, right? I'm only ever going to get a first watch one time. So I'm just trying to verbalize everything that's coming to me in the moment. So apologies. Thank you for sticking with the episode of this video if you have. Sorry, it is very much kind of like a watch along almost, like I talk back and forth, speculate, have a conversation with you guys, which is insane because no one's here right now. I am just talking to myself, that is true, but I feel you there. So thank you for being there, and apologies if you're not so into the talking too much and the speculation and all that stuff, but yeah. The cancer's back, isn't it?
I'd offer you a beer. No.
How beautiful would it be if they mended this relationship somewhat and then it broke fully?
Saul told me what you did.
What?
I'm not in jail.
Oh, the jail stuff. Sorry, I was like Lily of the Valley, because again, Saul's the only one that knows.
I'm not coming back.
Yeah, fair. Stay out of this man's way.
So why are you here?
It's funny, I saw a bounder the other day. Certainly in a lot better shape than our old hunk of junk. No bullet holes in the door.
Whenever I hit a red light, I used to pray when it out on me.
And then suddenly it would
Oh, we're reminiscing. It's making us feel I'm suspicious.
sound just out of the blue, like we hit a pack of cats.
Oh, I don't like where this is going, because it's enamoring the audience to this conversation, raising us up, making us feel good things from early seasons, and now I'm like, how are you gonna hit me now?
Not let it idle too low.
Remember the time we ran out of gas coming back from a cook?
But it is nice. It's nice. I look at the arrangement as well. Sorry, just for a second before we continue. And the conversation that we've just had, and it evokes all these warm feelings, this feeling of nostalgia. I think that's why they're doing it. I think it's making them feel good. I think there's a reason Walt brought that up too, because I think he feels warm feelings and nostalgia and good things over, the past and what happened. Despite how it happened and what happened, and that it was a stressful time and all that stuff. I think now where we are in the show, I think both of them, but I think because Walt brought it up, I think Walt feels very warmly, very, very kindly towards those memories and where it all started, right? Let's not forget as well that he brought that up, and he immediately went towards Jesse with a conversation topic that made him feel warm and good, and brought them a little bit closer together. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that this isn't some kind of scheme, and it might be, I don't know. But I'm also working with the idea that the cancer's back and he's looking for comfort right now. I think that's why he came to Jesse, because Skylar's not that for him anymore. I think Jesse absolutely is the only avenue for him in that respect now. And it's very telling, I think, that he brought up that conversation. Jesse was like, why are you here? And Walt went into that, right? And he got that jogging, he got that conversation going and delved into that and let himself bathe, I think, a little bit in something good, something that he remembered fondly, right? And so it's interesting that you have that, and Walt trying, and this very warm conversation almost, between these two, and I think it comes out to you as the audience and makes you feel that way too, because it draws you back to earlier seasons, and I think the audience's feelings towards that, and obviously we think of that, I think, very fondly, and we feel almost the same way, and it has the same effect on us that it has on Walt, I think, which is really, really funny, really clever. But then taking all of that into account, look how they're stood. There is still coldness, they're not sat down, they're not comfortable, there's distance between them, they're wary, there's the conversation is warm and nostalgic, but the way that this scene is set up and the way that they're standing, it's not warm, they're cold, there's still distance between them. The show and the direction and the frame here is showing us that, right? The place their relationship is, the gap between them, and it's like, it's interesting that we have this memory of where they were and where the show was juxtaposed with this image here and where they are now and how far away, and it makes that whole thing seem a little bit bittersweet, and the memory of all that a little bit bittersweet. And I think you're reminded of that by the setting here and the way that this scene, this shot here is arranged, right? Yeah.
I gotta get going. Yeah, just meet up.
Right. So was that just comfort for Walt, maybe, after finding out that he still had it?
I left something for you.
Money. The money, right? Yeah, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it, if the cancer coming back made him reassess a little bit, revisit his old motivation of seeing for his family, seeing for Jesse, seeing that all these people are okay, maybe coming back a little bit from Heisenberg. It would also be poetic that, you know, the cancer made him start out on this journey and led him towards this monster that he is. And perhaps if it came back and led him back down the path of maybe good for a little bit, or seeking out good. It would be very poetic if that's the way it went, right? The instigation of this cancer and the different directions it's led him, how on one hand early on it led him that way, and now it might lead him back. That would kind of be a little bit beautiful, so we'll see. Interesting choice of music, like it was a bad thing, but he is out now, he can get out. Oh wow. Is that what he went to get then, when he saw Walt out there? For protection maybe? Knowing what he did in the prisons, yeah. Yeah, what are we going to see here from Walt? Are we going to see him apologise and come back a little bit? Maybe.
I'm out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, was I right?
I'm out.
Are we seeing Walt return? That's big for him too. That's a really big thing for him to do. And I like it, but I feel there's this sense of dread that comes with it for me, because I just think he's too far in. And it would be very poetic, very bittersweet if he was like, I'm out, and then he says something or does something and Hank maybe gets put on his trail, and it's like the last time, you know, one of these final times that because he's been trying to get out for a long time, and the last time he actually truly tries to get out and can, and maybe it fails because Hank gets onto him. Okay, let's see.
I used to squeeze lemon juice in my hair. You remember that?
Wow, yeah, it's interesting that they're using this shot and this scenario to show how things are returning to how they were. Do you remember not long ago when they were here, and do you remember me talking about how difficult it was? You know, they were searching for things to talk about. You know, they were struggling as these couples, and you know, it was so easy before, and then we got to a place where like it wasn't easy. And I mentioned, and I was like, look at them struggling for conversation. This isn't easy anymore. And it was the episode that Skylar went into the pool, I think. And how now again, we're returning to this place, and we're very purposefully being shown that things are returning a little bit back to normal, which makes me now think, because they're presenting it this way, and it's like, yeah, look how they're getting back to how things were, how they're healing. I'm like, okay, good, great, I like it, but how does this go wrong? I honestly think, and this is my prediction for the end of this episode, and I'm just going to say it straight out, I think Hank finds out. Oh yeah, that's all she wanted. And maybe there's something to be salvaged from this relationship, because he's out.
Does it look glossier?
Where are you going, Hank? What are you doing? Yeah, we're lingering with him. Oh, it's gonna hit me. It's gonna gut punch me in it, this show. Oh, he's going for a poo. Fair play to him, hey man. We've all been there. Of course we have. What am I saying? I hope it's a good one, mate. I'll be honest with you. Oh, Walt Whitman. Yeah, that's a connector to Gale. Is that Gale's, by the way? Is it Gale's? Is it Gale's book? Is there a message from... Yeah. Oh my god, it's happening. GB.
WW. My star, my perfect silence. WW.
Oh my god, I just said it. The breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs!
Walter White.
Haha! It's happening. I told you. I literally just told you. I saw this coming a mile away. Oh. Come on! You can't end this. Alright. Do you know what? I feel like analysing 4.5 seasons. Yeah, 4.5 seasons of this show has really paid off, because I'm going to stand by a lot of what I said in this episode. And look, hey, this is the thing. And I think this is what makes this show so good. And I think, honestly, what's made my videos so viable, honestly. I can't really take credit to a certain extent, because I think the reason that I can analyse and see things coming is because the show shows you. It does, and it uses themes to prep you. I'm sure I'm absolutely not the first person to see that coming. I think the telltale signs are there. I'm gonna try not to retrack what I've kind of gone over in this episode. The things that I would stick by, I think, you know, when he saw the punch thing in the hospital, I think the MRI thing was, I think it's one of those things where, you know, when shows show you something and then it's just brief and then they move on and then they don't show you it for like, I don't know, and they pay it off like, I don't know, a while later. I think the little scene there with the MRI and the bit in the hospital and the punched metal was him getting the cancer back. I think he's got the cancer back. I think he's been told. I think that moment where he was looking at it and, you know, you're brought back to that moment where he punched it. I think that was one of the motivations and one of the reasons that he pulled back, honestly, and was like, I'm out. But, you know, we got the reaction in this episode where he was looking at it and he was so calm and he took it. That was one of the things in this episode, I think, that was so beautiful, because I think it led him to not carry on. It stopped the momentum. It was like, right, I've got cancer again. Again, I'm assuming, and maybe I'm wrong. I might absolutely be wrong. That's fair enough. I just think we weren't shown that for no reason. And I absolutely think they showed us a little clip of it and then just, that's it. And then I think you're meant to forget about it, maybe, as the audience, and then maybe it's going to come back later, you know, in the next season, almost next half of the season. But I think that moment was so packed with stuff, you know what I mean? So packed with character, so packed with emotion, so packed with the theme of him stopping, you know, and it was, like I say, juxtaposed against the first time and that moment where he was on that path and he couldn't get off it. And he was like, I can get out. This is my opportunity. If I want to get out, I can get out. I'm going to do it. And I think it's poetic that the cancer came back, maybe. And in this respect, it's shifted him back the other way. And I think, you know, you see him pulling back. You see him go to Jesse and everything that I said in regards to Jesse in that little moment, I'm gonna let rest and let that speak for itself. But I think that couples with that moment in the hospital. It was this display of a returning to the old, to who he was, to an attempt to actually get out. And I think he means it, you know. And then after that, he went to Skyler. He was like, I'm out. And then we see, on top of that, the moment between Marie, Hank, Walt Jr. It's very reminiscent of how it was and the normality and things getting back to normal and going back again. And yeah, it's such a beautiful episode for showing how Walt's got to this place where he wants to be out and you believe him and he wants to be. But then it's also, you know, in the minds of the audience, you're like, it's the mid-season of season 5. He's not just gonna get out of this. I think what I'll end on this little thread is that it's so, and it's what I saw coming, right, because of all those little breadcrumbs through this episode, was that it was teeing it up to be really sweet and warm and him actually trying to find the moral good again, and then it was going to blow up. It wasn't going to quite work again, and again he's just a little bit too late. And like I say, the moment where Hank finds out, and I think I said earlier in this season that I felt like the middle of season 5 was going to be Hank finding out. I said that a little while ago, and hey, here we are. And I think, you know, like I say, those breadcrumbs just lead you there. They do. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, I wanna congratulate myself. And hey, man, I'll do it a little bit. I'll do it there. That's for me. But I think, you know, there's only so much I can take, because like I have kind of said, I think the reason that I can read this so well is because I'm paying attention to it, and, you know, it's there. The writers are showing me, and it's there to be read. And, you know, I know media, and I know tropes, and I know, and I've learned this show a little bit more as well, right? You know, I've learned their patterns. I've learned what they're doing, and I think I did kind of call earlier in this episode that maybe he would return to the moral good and try to, because that's what I wanted to see. And I think consistently the show has been trying to show you that as the audience. They've been like, well, what do they want to see? What would be most interesting, you know, to see? Or most bitter, painful, but sweet and tragic all at once. And to me, that would have, it's that, you know, this possibility. If Hank hadn't found out, I think if Hank hadn't found out, this show gets a happy ending. And that's the bittersweet of it, you know. And I think, you know, going into the final half of this season, because I could stop here. I think anyone watching this show could stop a minute before, 20 seconds before that ending, and come off Breaking Bad being like, that was a happy ending, great, all is well, Walt is out, they're all happy. And I think the beauty of that moment, the beauty of this episode, and I've gone on, I will stop, I'm sorry, is that that's not how it's gonna go. And the bitterness is that Walt tried to get out again for the final time in a place where he felt he could. He has all the power. It's in his power to do that, more so now than it's ever been. And even then, he hasn't quite got there. And yeah, we're going to see the explosion. God, the way that I want to see the explosion, you know, and how Hank reacts and what he's going to do here. Maybe he calls the DEA. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes personal. Maybe he wants to get a one-on-one with Walt and be like, what the, dude? Hey. Okay. Suffice to say, I am looking forward to next episode. So we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, if this is your first time watching this, my Breaking Bad Fridays, you have got a lot to catch up on, mate. That's all I'll say. But hey, if you enjoyed this, scroll down, subscribe. Why not? Let's just do it. Do it. Tyler, have you not got a little bit of a spiel to say to try and persuade me to do it? I haven't. I'll be honest with you. I usually do a little bit, but that's it. Just do it. That's yeah, it's a bit weak. I'll be honest with you. Fair enough. Hey, it worked for Nike. Why not me? Thank you, as always, to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Special shout out to you guys. And hey, I will see you next week, and we'll see where this show ends up. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.